What is going on, ladies and gentlemen, family and friends? Welcome to Boxing Profiles TV on YouTube here at the Georgie Duke Boxing Gym in Vacaville, Northern California. My name is DJ Ed Combong. I'm the co-host. I'm the Robin to this Batman right here, the incomparable, one and only man, myth, the legend, Coach Tonsil Prince.
What's up, brother?
Coach Prince, how are you doing tonight, sir?
Good, brother. Good.
It is a nice, crisp night here. Not here in the gym. In the gym, we put in the work. It's always nice and hot and musty up in here because we put in the work, all right? But outside, it's nice and cold and cool. I haven't had a chance to step out since I did my little workout, you know what I'm saying? So I'm still sweating bullets up in here, but it's all good. A lot of young bucks up in here putting it down as well. Our guys that fought at the Georgie Duke Fight Night at the Duke 2025 are here tonight putting in work. Shout out to Isaiah and shout out to Oz as well. Oz's dad, Alex, as well. Prince, man, like I said, amazing, exciting night of fights for Fight Night at the Duke 2025. Had a cavalcade of fighters last week as well that we introduced on screen. And so we had Oz, we had Isaiah, we had
Jerry.
We had Jerry.
We had Gabe.
We had Gabe. We had Lucas.
We
had
where's
Diego was on there, you know.
Who else? I think that
Francisco.
Francisco. That's right.
Francisco was on there. Yeah. You know, so we had, like I said, a lot of stars here at the gym, and so these are guys that are starting to have amateur pedigrees. Started out here under your tutelage, right? Like under you. So Prince was asking me, he's like, hey man, because usually we have stuff to talk about, right? Tonight though, you know, to be honest with you, I'm gonna be gone the rest of the week, you know, but I was able to make it tonight. Usually, you know, we have, like I say, a topic to talk about, but I figured he was gonna say, hey man, I don't know what we're gonna talk about tonight, but we always come up with entertaining stuff, all right? So what we're gonna try to do right now, because it's been a lot of episodes since we've done this, we're gonna do Ask Prince. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna be asking Prince a whole slew of questions, whether it has to do with boxing,
I ain't got no answers.
Boxing, life. Hey, we don't want to go too crazy or go too deep on them like that. But at the same time, you have a lot of great opinions, and people need to know who exactly you are, because man, they see you week after week. Even if you haven't, by the way, if this is your first time, do us a favor, hit that subscribe button right there on the screen. Subscribe, Boxing Profiles TV on YouTube. Our subscriber list has been steadily growing since last year when I first joined on, and thank you to all of you out there, family, friends, fans, people that are just showing up, other boxing gyms. Shout out to our watcher right now. Yo, like I said, we are nothing without you guys. If you guys have questions, comments, hit us up in the comment section. We promise we interact with you guys. Like I said, watch last week's episode, watch episodes prior to that as well. We love our fans, we love our viewers. Thank you so much for joining us. With that said, like I said, it's time for Ask Prince, all right? So we're gonna do about 30 minutes or so, maybe even longer, depending on how it goes, how long the questions are. But like I said, we ain't try to be like too controversial, nothing like that, all right? We try to keep this at least PG, maybe PG-13, you know what I'm saying? But still, with that said, so Prince, as I was mentioning a little bit before this, a few seconds ago, building up amateur pedigrees of fighters here, people that have no prior experience are getting the sparring and the knowledge and the teaching that they need here in the Georgie Duke in order to sharpen their skills, in order to go and hop in and do amateur fights. You, however, took a completely different route, did you not? With that said, Prince, do you have an extensive amateur fighting background? Did you know that? If you've watched this before, maybe you know that. But can you believe that?
No
amateur
background whatsoever. No amateur background.
No amateur background. And I knew that already. And that's why these are baited questions. I kind of know, like I said, these answers and stuff. But like I said, you, the viewer that's checking on this, you might not know. Prince, why is that? How come you don't have any amateur fights under, like you just went straight pro?
Yeah.
He went from being in the gym straight to pro. Why did it happen that way back when you fought? Let's go back. When was it when you had your when actually even before your first professional fight? When did you say, "All right, I want to do this. I want to fight"? How old were you, and what was it?
Well, okay, so I grew up in the back east in New Jersey, and where I lived was a real rough area. Like a lot of the guys now, they think that they live in a rough area, and it's like, guys, you guys are cream puffs compared to what I grew up, and you had to know how to fight. If you didn't know how to fight, they were gonna take whatever they want to take from you, you know.
So you were fighting really young then.
I was fighting when I was really young, and I grew up with 5 brothers and 1 sister, and you know all my brothers boxed.
Whoa.
Every last one of them boxed. My dad said, he told us straight up, I don't raise no punks. You're not coming home crying. He says, I don't care what you have to do to survive. You do whatever it is that you have to do. If you can't beat them, you pick up a brick and you hit them in the head. It's just straight up, just the way it was.
That's the savagery that keeps you alive there.
The savagery, that's what it was.
Survival of the fit, as they say, right?
Basically, yeah. So basically, the bottom line to it was the fact that, you know, every day we had to fight. Basically, we had to fight because there was always somebody trying to take something from you. And it's like this. Sometimes you got to take your respect from people. People don't want to give it to you. Just take it. And the way to take it from them is, if you got to put hands on them, you put hands on them. That's just the way it was. I had to do that, and it was just the way it was on where I grew up at. You know, some people say, it wasn't that rough. Okay, whatever.
They don't know your life like that, though. I hate when people say that stuff.
You know what I mean? But whatever. But the bottom line to it is this: I grew up, and I had a purpose to fight. Okay. Number one was. It was about survival. Number 2, all my brothers did it.
It was a family affair. It's a family thing.
It's a family affair. Okay. Now, we boxed in the gym in Paterson, New Jersey, and they had a lot of great fighters that was coming out of that gym.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of guys that were fighting in the amateurs, and these guys were like superstars. Two of my sparring partners that I had, the first one, his name was BC, okay? And BC had 101 amateur fights. He was like 98 wins and only a couple losses.
Yeah, like 3 losses there, right?
That's how good he was.
That is wild,
That was how good he was, you know. And I had a second sparring partner, name was Anthony Green, and he had 56 wins and like maybe 7 losses. Another guy. And these guys,
fighters.
These guys were top notch. They was fighting in a lot of the national tournaments and things like that. Now these were my sparring partners when I was coming into the gym. Now I knew how to box already because of the stuff that I learned from my dad, the stuff I learned from my brothers,
right,
and stuff like that. But when I got to the gym and I started boxing these dudes, man, they used to beat me up all the time, bro. And it becomes a point when you're getting beat up so much that you say enough is enough. Because what happens is when you're getting beat up, you are still learning. Right. And as you are still learning, you start to apply the things that you've learned. That's what I started doing, and I started talking to my brothers and them, and really, I said, "Hey, man, you need to do this. You need to do that. You need to do this." So we went home, and with my brothers, we worked on it. We worked on it, and I got better and better and better and better and better. So I got to the point to where I started dropping my sparring partners. And the one thing that people don't understand is this. I don't care what your record is. I don't care how many titles you got. I don't care how many belts you got. If you are always sparring, you're always learning. Okay?
Right.
The key to being successful is to continually sparring. But not sparring when you're knocking each other's brains out because you don't learn anything.
Right.
Okay? You have to go in
Technical
there.
sparring,
You have
like
to
you
have
said, right?
technical sparring. And that's what we did. We did technical sparring, technical sparring, technical sparring. Because what's the sense to have a gym war with the guy in the gym that you train with?
It's like, why?
Why?
You guys are trying to make each other better, not kill each other, right?
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly, and that's the thing that people don't understand. You know, I see so many fighters today. They're in there trying to kill each other, and people say, "Man, well, that's what they do in the fight."
In the fight, that's
Okay.
what they do. But
Well, also, if your fighter goes in there and he loses, it's because he burns out. That's number one. He burns out too quick because why? Because he's always in the gym, fighting in the gym, right? He's not doing the technical sparring. The technical sparring is what starts giving you your knowledge on going from point A to point B to point C and all these different, all these different levels that you can reach. Okay, but it's got to be technical sparring. You got to have a jab. I was taught the jab. The jab is.
I love that segue, like you said, how you went into you first, the fighting, and then So speaking about it, like you said, so jab. Speaking of which, gotta plug it because it's been a lot of episodes. This man right here, buy his ebook now. He has actually 2 ebooks. Art of the Jab on Amazon right now, and defensive.
Well, it's a boxing defense.
And boxing defense.
Yeah.
Boxing defense as well. So both of them. So
I-
Art of the Jab, boxing defense. So do you remember when did you write those? How long ago did you write those? We're jumping around a little bit.
Let's go back. Maybe it's like 3 years.
About 3 years ago?
About 3 years ago.
You wrote both of them?
3 years.
About 3 years ago.
3 years ago.
See?
Yeah. I have a third book that I just haven't published. It's already written. I just haven't published it yet. I was just waiting. I think I'm gonna publish it in 2026. I have a third one. Yeah.
The trifecta.
Yeah. I have a third one, and I'm not gonna give the name yet because I don't want people to know right yet. But it entails a lot of gold inside of it for fighters. It's a lot of gold
Man, I
inside
can't
the
wait.
book. And it gives a lot of knowledge inside of the book.
I can't wait.
Because fighters today are, they're good. But like I said before, when I mention that name, Sugar Ray Leonard, you like, oh yeah. Oh yeah, people get excited.
You have
when you
to.
say that name, Sugar Ray Leonard. When I mention Tommy Hearns, oh, people get excited.
Marvin Hagler.
People get excited. When I mention Muhammad Ali, people get excited, right? So my whole thing is this: what type of fighter are you? Do people get excited when they hear your name? If they're not getting excited, something's wrong. Okay, so
So, yeah, man, but that said, see, like I said, I love all these little clips. You guys, when you watch these, write these down. Because like I said, you learn about Prince here. With that said, do you still remember your first pro fight and what happened and your feelings you had
Yeah, I think
and all of that?
Oh, you.
What year was it? Do you remember?
Oh God, no! You going back?
Man,
You going back, dude?
do you remember what weight class it was in?
147.
147.
147.
And it was a kickboxing or boxing?
No, it was boxing, regular boxing.
This guy's a kickboxer too.
I fought professionally in both sports. I did it. The fight was in Bayonne, New Jersey.
Okay.
It was in Bayonne, New Jersey. I'm trying to remember my opponent's name, the first name of the opponent. Oh God, I can't even remember.
But 147.
It was 147, and it was in Bayonne, New Jersey.
Do you remember? Was there a lot of people? Was it in a gym or like was it at
it
like
was like
a
a-
community center or
No,
like
it was
a hall?
it was like a at a hotel.
Ooh.
It was like at a hotel, and I think it was like maybe
Hey man, that's big time already.
maybe like 300 to 400 people, and it was
That's a lot of people. For
it
your
was
first fight.
well, back east boxing is big back east. You know what I mean? It's huge. So
How close? Now, sorry to cut in. Like I said, I have all these questions. When you were still living in Patterson, how close was was Atlantic City to you?
oh, Atlantic City was.
Were you able
probably-
to ever watch any boxing matches in Atlantic City?
No, I didn't. I just watched them on television. Atlantic City was about I think it was like 2 hours.
Oh, okay.
2 hours away, so it
about
wasn't
a
very
2
far.
hour drive?
It was, yeah, it wasn't very. It wasn't very.
'Cause that's
far.
the hub, as you guys may
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
Obviously, Las Vegas,
Yeah.
but Atlantic City.
Yeah, it was
big
just
Boston
it was
hub.
it's just up the turnpike. Basically, they have a freeway that's there, and then they have we call it Highway 80. You know, here they say freeway, we say Highway 80,
Highway.
and then they have the turnpike. So the turnpike just scats right down to they take you straight down to Atlantic City.
Okay.
And, yeah, it was pretty cool, bro.
Yeah, but your first fight was at a hotel, about 300 or 400 people.
Bayonne, New Jersey.
Bayonne, New Jersey. And it's all right. You don't remember the first name.
I don't remember the
who
first
your
time.
fighter was.
Yeah.
Do
hopefully
you remember
it
what happened? What the decision was? Did you win? Did you lose that one?
No. I won the fight.
You won the fight. You won your first fight.
I won.
How many people can say that? That's amazing. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, wins and losses ultimately don't matter, but still, you know, that must have been quite a feeling. How old were you? Do you remember when that happened with that first fight? Were you still in your teens?
No, I wasn't. I was like 20 something.
Okay, about 20 something. But you had a lot of years fighting already. prior to that, you know?
Well, when you grow up in a family that boxes, you learn real fast.
Right.
And you grow up in a neighborhood that you had to fight and survive, you learn real fast.
I
You know
believe
what I
it.
mean? And the one thing that we learned was it didn't matter what accolades, what your titles were. Everything was based upon experience. Okay, I was able to be in the ring with some great fighters, and I've seen a lot. I mean, I've seen a lot. Okay, I've seen a lot of fighters. I've seen them come and I've seen them go.
Right.
A lot of fighters. And then when I was able to start sparring with some of the like big name fighters, I was able to hold my own. Like one of the guys that I sparred with when I moved to California, I'm gonna jump back to, in a minute, was I had an opportunity to spar with Tony the Tiger Lopez when he
shout out Tony the Tiger Lopez. Hey, shout out to our viewers too. Look at y'all.
Yeah,
Hey, right on.
I had the opportunity to spar with him, and he was the 3-time world champion at the time.
Wow.
And I was sparring with him in Sacramento, and it was at the YMCA, that way he used to train. And it was a kind of a rough area. It wasn't too bad, you know what I mean? It was
Right.
kind of rough, but I was over there. I had my opportunity to spray tones,
1,
to spar with.
0, 8, 6, 4.
Hey, sorry,
Hey,
y'all.
turn that
There's
down
some
for
crazy
me.
stuff going on in the background. But no, Tony the Tiger Lopez.
Yeah.
You're able to spar with him.
I had the opportunity to spar him. Yeah, turn that down. Whose phone is that? There you go. There you go. All right, there we go. So, I had the opportunity to spar with Tony, and we wasn't trying to kill each other. We were just doing basically like technical sparring.
Right.
And I think we was doing like, I believe it was, if I'm correct, we were doing like 10 rounds.
You guys did 10 rounds.
Yeah,
Man.
10 rounds. And at the time it was 3 minutes. 3 minutes per round. So we were in there. We were putting in some work, and I was doing pretty good. I was doing real good until I got cocky and tried to walk in there on the middle. You know what I mean? And I got caught with a good liver shot.
Ooh.
And I got dropped. And here's the thing. When you get hit with a liver shot, sometimes you go down right away. Then other times it takes a few seconds. Well, I got hit with the shot, and I backed up. And as I was backing up, I was throwing the jab, and my front leg just collapsed.
Ooh.
It completely just
gave out.
Just gave completely out. And boom, I hit the ground. I was like, oh, that's when I felt everything. And then Tony said, he's standing on me. He said, man, you all right? I said, I'm all right, bro. I'm all right. And then when I got up, as I got up, I just told him, give me a second. So I took it might have been like 30 seconds. And then we finished up the round. You know what I mean? We finished the round, and then we did a couple more rounds. But again, I started staying away from him again. You know what I mean? So, so Tony the Tiger Lopez was
Was he a southpaw as well?
No,
just like
he
you?
was no, he wasn't
He's
southpaw.
orthodox,
He
huh?
was basically an orthodox fighter. I was a southpaw.
Right.
He was, man. Tony was a great fighter.
Right, he was.
He went 12 rounds.
He went 12 rounds with Julio Cesar Chavez.
Yeah. He went 12 rounds with Julio Cesar Chavez, man. And
watched
Tony
that
was
fight.
Tony was a he was
Yeah,
a
he was
beast.
no joke.
He was no
no
joke,
joke.
brother. I mean, you know, and like I said, I've been in the ring with other professional fighters and all that. I don't really want to get into all that.
Right. No worries. You don't have to
But-
name drop him like that. But,
but
shout out
yeah.
to Tony Tiger
Yeah,
Lopez.
shout out to Tony.
Shout out to Amari Jones who came through.
Shout out to Amari Jones.
Amari
who just
Jones
won his
came
fight.
through
Yeah.
to Georgie Duke's
Yes, sir.
Final at the Duke 2025. Shout out to 5-time world kickboxing champion Robert Parham. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So, you know, when you grow up fighting and all those sort of things, man, you know, it gets into your blood. You know what I'm saying? You get into your blood, and as it gets into your blood, you become animalistic. Okay?
Okay. So with that,
Become animalistic.
so with that said, what? Drop some knowledge on, like I said, we doing these questions here, right? We still got time. We still got, because like I said, I got lots of questions. So we pivoted from there. What exercises would you, right now, if there were 3 core exercises that anyone, even an amateur, could do at home to make them a better boxer or a better kickboxer, what would those 3 things be? To folk, what would you have someone who's watching you right now? Let's say they can't come to the Georgia Duke, or they can't join their neighborhood gym. They're like, I don't want to watch stuff on YouTube. Like they're watching us right now for some reason, or they stumble upon us on YouTube. What 3 tips would you give them as far as trying to better their athleticism or just their boxing game? What 3 exercises would you say?
Well, the first.
You can't just say work on the jab, because I mean obviously working on the jab, there's a lot more that entails. But I mean, what's something that's easy they could do? Like you said, could they find a good shadow boxer online, such as like you could say, you know, find Teddy Atlas online and watch some of his.
I would. Okay, the one thing I would tell fighters that they need to know how to do.
3 things.
What are
3 things. First one.
The first one was I would tell the fighters to work on footwork.
Footwork.
That's the first one I would tell them to work on. You need to be able to have great footwork so you can move around the ring. You never want to stand in front of your opponent. That's number 1. Okay. The second thing I would tell fighters they have to do is you need to be able to throw combination punches while moving. That means moving side to side, forward and backwards. That's what that means. And number 3, I would tell them they have to move their heads in order for them not to get hit. And you want to make it as difficult as possible for anyone that you get in the ring with to hit you. You want to make them earn everything. And the way to make these guys out there tired is to constantly move and be in condition to throw a lot of punches. A lot of guys think that they could just get in there and just throw punches and they could just power you out and all this other stuff. You ain't gonna knock everybody out every single time. You're not gonna stop everybody, okay? You gotta be in condition to throw punches. And
throw hard punches, fast punches,
there's gotta,
accurate punches, right?
There's got to be a goal, okay? You got to have a purpose for your practice, okay? And some guys just get to the gym and they just throw punches and just going at it, right? You got to develop skill. You got to develop skill. You got to be able to throw skillful, move skillfully, where people could see it, because now you're going to become an exciting fighter. When you become an exciting fighter and they watch you fight and they like what you're doing, the people are going to come out, because now you have that persona, okay? You got that persona. The reason why Sugar Ray Leonard was everybody watched Sugar Ray Leonard is because Sugar Ray Leonard had what? Beautiful combinations, beautiful movement, and speed.
That quickness,
right?
man.
Muhammad
and
Ali.
accuracy.
Muhammad Ali, the same thing, right? All those great
But
fighters of old.
on top of that, like you said, it's one thing to have the fighting acumen, to have all the tools of fighting. But damn, those guys gotta sell themselves as well, man.
Well, yeah.
Muhammad Ali with that, with that brain and that mouth he had, same thing with Sugar Ray Leonard.
Same with it. Yeah, you got to be able to sell yourself, and that's one of the problems I don't see with the fight. But more importantly, over all of that, the number one thing, you got to have a coach that understands what you need to do inside of the ring. Not a coach that is going to limit you. You need a coach that is going to allow you to be able to move around in the ring. Because
Like you said, a coach that will push you,
he's gonna
that
push
will
you.
challenge
He's going
you
to challenge you every single day you go in the gym, even in technical sparring.
to get out of that comfort zone.
To get out of the
right?
comfort zone. If you're in a comfort zone when you out there sparring, you're gonna be average. You're gonna be average, okay? If you want to get to that elite level and you want to be the best of the best, you got to get out that comfort zone. What are you willing to do? What are you willing to sacrifice when you get in that ring? What are you willing to sacrifice? That's a question that a lot of guys haven't answered. They haven't even asked themselves that.
So with that
You know?
said, right. So with that said, like I said, going back to you,
Yeah.
we talked about your first fight. Do you remember when was your last fight?
Oh, last fight.
Yeah, do you remember your last fight? I mean, I'm technically, you know what? Real talk though. 94.
Maybe 94. Yeah, 90.
This guy's talking about coming back to the ring. You never know. This dude might fight the Masters.
I thought about it. I thought about it, but my only problem is because I was a professional. I don't know if they would let me. I don't know if they would let me.
He might put the beats too hard on.
No. I don't know if they would let me. I don't know if they would let me, but I have to look into it. Now, if there's pros there's a Masters and they were pros, then I would consider doing that.
Right. Masters pros, huh?
Yeah.
But so you said 94 was your last fight.
Yeah, 94.
Do you remember how that one went?
No, I lost that fight.
You lost that fight.
Yeah,
See, that's the thing that's cool about
I
Prince.
lost that fight on a decision.
He'll let you know
I lost
that he has wins and losses. You know, that's what he lets our fighters here know. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Bro,
Like, as long as you
look, I got wins, I got losses, I've been knocked out, okay? You know what I mean? I had the hematoma on my eye, like this, right up under this eye right here. I had the hematoma right here. I had broken noses, you know what I'm saying? I had all that sort of stuff. And all this stuff is experience that teaches you what to do, what not to do. Okay? And I got the hematoma. I think what's happening is the guy that I was sparring, we were sparring, and he threw. I'm left-handed, and I moved right into his power hand, and that was my mistake. It wasn't, you know what I mean? And it like boom, and I was like, damn, and I knew it as soon as I got hit. I knew it, and that was all she wrote, and I just went.
And that's with headgear on, right?
Huh?
That's with headgear on?
There's no headgear on.
Oh, that was no headgear.
No.
Nonetheless, though, like you were just saying, though, I mean, headgear or not, even with headgear, people get messed up. You can get hurt with headgear.
This is what I be telling. This is what I let people know. It's savagery, bro. It's straight up savagery. It's not. This is not a. This ain't tennis. You know what I'm saying? This ain't tennis or baseball, or you know what I'm saying? This is not that. This is savagery. This is straight up brutal savagery. It's not football. Okay, like people look at football and say, "Oh, football is brutal."
It's brutal. It is, but
it's
a lot
brutal.
like boxing,
it's
right?
brutal, but it's nothing like boxing at all. Oh, you know what I mean? It's nothing like boxing at all. Okay, the closest thing, and it might be more savage than boxing, is probably the UFC.
MMA, right?
Okay, MMA is probably more savage than boxing. But what I'm trying to say though, and my point is, this is savagery, real savagery.
That ain't for the faint of heart, right?
It ain't for the faint of heart. It's you can't come in here and say, yeah, I'm willing to do this, I'm willing to do that. Okay, well guess what? You got dude across the way over here
Who's willing to do the same things.
who's willing to do the same thing. Now he gonna test your skills. Are you willing to die for what you want to do in that ring and where you want to go? Are you really, truly willing to die for that? That's the question.
You bring up a good point. There's people that really.
Check this out. Yeah. So when that dude starts knocking you upside your head, and every single punch is hurting you, and this dude is throwing punches to your eye, and he got your eyes all closed and everything else, are you willing to continue?
Right.
That is the question. That's when we find out who you really are, where your resolve is, where this is right here. Okay? That's when we find out. Because it's easy to sit here and go, yeah, man, I'm willing to do that. Man, I'll do that. Are you really willing to do it when these dudes are coming after you? Ready to knock your brains out, mash your brains out of your head. Are you willing to do that? You know what I'm saying? Peeking in here. Oz is peeking in here.
What's up, y'all?
What's up here? I said Oz is saying, what's up, y'all?
Hey.
Okay, we'll get him in here a little bit later on tonight. But let me tell y'all, look, man, are you willing to do it when dude got both your eyes closed, nose broke?
You know?
I'm serious, guys. You know what I mean? These dudes, a lot of dudes. This is not a joke. People look at it, and even though you see these amateur boxers and all this other stuff, right? Look, this ain't no joke. This is a serious business. When you really start getting into this boxing thing and it start getting into your blood, this is serious stuff. And it's like, you got to be honest and truthful with these young kids in here. You got to be able to explain to them exactly what could happen to them when they're in that ring. And this is why they should be taking this business serious and come and saying, hey, man, I want to get in that ring and I want to fight. You're going to have to really break it down to them and get them to understand this is what can happen to you inside that ring.
Right.
Okay? I don't care if you got head gear on. You can get broken ribs, punctured lung. All you got to do is get caught with the right punch. You know what I mean? God forbid if you got your chin in there and you get hit in the throat. Ooh. No, I'm serious, bro.
I know.
I'm serious. Or get hit on the collarbone. You break the collarbone, it'll snap just like that. You know what I'm saying? People don't understand, and I'll open your guys' eyes right now. Look, in this game, people get mangled. They could get deformed. They get brain damage.
Yeah, look at
They die.
Shout out, look at Wilfred
Benitez, yeah, that's what I'm saying, right?
You know?
And this is what I'm talking about. This is why fighters have got to move their head. This is why fighters has got to be able to move. They got to be versatile. You can't just stand there and be fighting some dude. You're gonna get, I see a lot of guys. One of the things, I'm gonna walk them down, bang them out. All right, you can't bang everybody out. You cannot do that.
You might be the one getting banged out.
You might get banged out yourself. All it takes is one punch, bro. One punch. You could be winning the whole fight, right? All you gotta do is make one mistake. Just get caught one time.
There you have it.
And that's it.
That's it. All right, let's see. It's about 31. All right, so we're going to ask one more question before we wrap this up. Because, man, 30 minutes went by fast.
It's quick, eh?
That went by super fast.
Yeah.
With that said, why, if someone's watching right now, and there is our one watcher, hello, right now, for our live watcher, shout out to you.
Shout out to you.
If you're watching this later on, after this gets recorded and archived, I want this to stay in the archive. So to be able to, if someone was able to see this, like later on, if they fell upon this or, came upon this video, they're able to see this. With all the questions I asked you tonight, no matter what age you are, even though you might be past your prime, might not be able to fight in the ring anymore, might not be able to, actually, physically fight with someone, or you might be too young for that. Is there still a benefit of boxing for everyone? If they wanted to say, I want to take boxing, would you tell them yes? Or would you say, no, don't do it?
No, I tell them yes. And the reason why I would tell them yes is because boxing, number one, is going to keep you youthful, right? Once you get yourself in shape, okay, it's gonna build hand and eye coordination.
No matter what age you are.
No matter what age you are, it's gonna build it, okay? All right, and then but I got something else I want to say before we get out of here, right?
Okay.
And that's what I would tell anybody that's in their age. They said, but I've never done it before. That's okay if you've never done it before. You will start you at the beginning, and then right from there, we'll build you up. And you'll be surprised on how fast you will learn. Because let me tell you something. Boxing should be just like you walk, okay?
Natural.
Your movements
Instinctive.
should be natural and instinctive, okay? If you're not fighting instinctively, question what you're doing, because everything should come natural. everything should come natural. Okay. We have to tap into that animalistic side that we have in us, okay? And a lot of fighters don't even understand that, okay? That's that seventh sense that we have inside of us, okay? And we got to tap into it, okay? We saw guys like Marvin Hagler and those type of guys are tapping into a lot of these fighters today. They're not quite there yet. They're there, but they're not quite there yet, okay?
You think they're gonna get there?
They'll get there eventually. But the most important thing in boxing, you don't hear coaches talk about this. The number one thing in boxing that people need to do is train their eyes. You need to train these right here to be able to see when you can strike your opponent. And there's only a couple ways of doing that. Now, I'm not going to give that away, but I'm telling you, it has a lot to do with hand and eye coordination. You have to be taught this. You are not going to be able to do this at all. You got to be trained in order to use these correctly, because these control your reflexes.
All right, let's leave them with that. Like I said, that's it. You heard it here first. You need to start boxing if you haven't already.
Yes.
To heighten just your life skills, period.
Yes.
And with that said, if you are boxing, you gotta learn to use your eyes. Eyes are everything. If you don't have your eyes, if you can't see what your opponent is doing, you can't see what you're doing, you are having big trouble, big problems with that. All right.
Yep.
So, Coach Prince, thank you so much for this
bro.
question and answer session. With that said, friends, once again, join us next week. We'll be here again next week.
Hey, we got two
before
people on here, bro.
Yeah, right on.
What's up, y'all?
Hey,
What's up, y'all?
Thank you so much to our live viewers right now. But once again, if you haven't subscribed already, subscribe. Boxing Profiles TV on YouTube. Sleepy eating training like Oz. There you go. There you go. You know?
There we go.
But yes, once again, catch us next week. We'll be back next Tuesday with a brand new episode. We went a little bit early this week, you know what I'm saying? But hey, right on, James.
Yeah.
But yo, you guys, if you haven't already, subscribe. Boxing Profiles TV on YouTube. Besides this episode tonight, man, we have dozens and dozens and dozens, almost 100 probably episodes online. Check them all out.
Check them out.
There's a lot of amazing information, amazing entertainment. Just fun, you know what I'm saying? And it's courtesy of this guy, courtesy of me as well. We have amazing guests, and we're gonna invite some of our other guests as time goes on. But once again, shout out to all of our fighters here at the Georgie Duke. Before we officially leave, though, Prince, hit him with.
I'm gonna hit him with something.
Yes.
You guys look out for Kings of the Canvas coming in 2026. Kings of the Canvas.
That's it. Don't tell them more.
That's
Next week, we'll talk about it more. Kings of the Canvas. Watch out.
All right.
Prince, hit him with the trademark.
What trademark? Which one?
You already know. The trademark that goes like this. Remember something. Keep on punching. Don't get punch drunk. Peace. I know. I've been doing this long enough.
You hit